So we are all loaded up. There's so much feed in this. We ended up buying 36 bags of feed for all of my pets, which equals 1,800 pounds in today's feed run, which cost us a total. Hey farm fam, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, welcome and welcome to today's video. So I'm really excited for this video because I think it's actually kind of interesting because I've seen a few comments lately asking me to do an updated buying all of my pets feed so that I could show you guys how the prices of feed have gone up since I've done these last. So I thought that was a really interesting idea. So I went and I watched the 3 other videos that I did like this. I actually did this video in 2019, 2020, and 2021. So I think we have a really good starting point to figure out how these prices have gone up. So I've watched those videos all today. I've used those videos to do my research to follow up on how the prices are today, and I'm actually blown away. So without further ado, we need to go ahead and we need to see what feed we need. We need to go buy all of my pets feed because we have drastically changed the way that we buy feed since prices have raised to try to get us the best bang for our buck. And you guys will see what I mean. And you guys might find some tips along the way in this video that will help you maybe cut down your feed costs, just because this is what we've acclimated to. If you guys are excited to see how much it costs to feed all of the animals on my farm, make sure you go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. Make sure you turn on this post notification so you don't miss any of these videos, and of course have a chance to my post notification shout out. You guys, and if you just saw Cash kick a trigger right there, let me know in the comments down below, because I've been using my peripherals here through the viewfinder as well to make sure that I was not going to get kicked, because the both of them are right here. So that was pretty interesting. But let's go ahead and get into the tack room. I do want to mention, since last doing this video, we have gotten a couple new animals, those including these 2 goats, these 3 pigs, and an additional horse right there. So ignore this mess. We've had to move some things with the cold nights, so I had to move those minerals. But anyways, this is how many bags that we have left of our horse feed. All of our horses eat this, and so does our donkey Dinky. So 6 animals eat this exact feed. This is the Purina Equine Senior, so that's why we have so much of it. This is our Dumore 16% layer crumble for the chickens. We have about, let's see, a little over a quarter of a bag left, so we'll need to get another chicken feed. Goat feed, we probably have a lot of days worth because the goats hardly eat their grain, so we might just get 1 more bag of grain for the goats, because we literally bought this bag back in October and this is still how much we have left. Then the pig feed, this probably is about a bag. We usually buy about 4 bags at a time, so we usually put 3 bags in here and then 1 bag inside for Penelope, so this is probably about 1 bag left. In the cow feed, we are completely out of, so we will definitely need to be getting cow feed today. So now I'm over in my garage where we keep all of our other food for the inside animals. So Penelope right here, this is how much she has left. So like I said, we add a bag to this one, 3 bags to the outside pigs. Then we have our dog food. So this was a full bag, but I just bought this Victor, another bag the other day. And then also I got another cat food. This time I got a 25-pound bag, but when I talk numbers, I'm gonna be talking about a 15-pound bag, because that's what I usually get. And then this is how much cat food we have. So we'll just add these into their respective bins. I don't know if the dog food will fit, but the cat food definitely should fit in here. So we won't be needing to buy any more cat food because I just bought this yesterday. So we're good on the cat food, and then like I said, the dog food, we're good as well. Now that we know all the feeds that we need to buy today, it's time to go to Tractor Supply. So we're gonna start with the cow feed. So we are going to be getting 10 bags of cow feed. Mike's gonna do the honors and load us up. So this is our cart of sweet feed. So we have to get 20 bags of Purina Equine Senior for the horses. So it was in a pallet right there, but the worker just took it. But here it is, what it looks like on the typical shelf. So basically we're getting the whole pallet. So he has to bring it in the back and then we'll meet him around back. So now we have a new cart. So we'll go and get the rest of the feed that we need. Here we are, the pig feed, and we're gonna get 4 of these. All right, so 4 pig foods, and now we need to go to the goat food. We are gonna just get 1 goat feed because we don't go through it hardly at all. So 1 goat feed added to our cart. This is technically our 3rd cart because we have the whole pallet, which actually would go on like 5 carts. And then we have the 1 full cart of cow feed, and now we have this full cart of this feed. So the last feed that we need to get is chicken feed. So we are getting the Do More 16% layer crumble, and we are just getting one because we literally only go through them once a month, and I don't like the feed to stay in there and get gross. All right, so we are done. We have all of our feed here, and then we have our tags for our cow food and our horse feed, so we're ready to check out and see the damage. So we are all loaded up. There's so much feed in this, so it's strapped, and then it's also just like taped around. It's literally so much feed, you guys. Total of 36 bags of feed. My goodness. So I'm sitting in the car in the barn. We are literally like pulled in backwards because we have to unload all the feed. But I wanted to go over everything that we bought today and how much it cost me. So we will do a run like this not often because we only need to buy our horse feed like every 3 months or so. So in between them, we'll buy pig feed, we'll buy cow feed, and we'll buy all the other feed. Basically, the only thing that we don't buy throughout the month is horse feed. So we will do a big order like this every 3 months about, and then throughout, like I said, we'll buy. Earlier, like I said, we buy our feed in like a bulk situation because it just helps offset the price of our feed. So another little tip, I said in the beginning I was going to give you guys some tips. If you guys buy your feed at Tractor Supply, if you go in store and you buy at least like 20 bags of the bulk feed, the rest of the feed with it, even if it's not 20 bags of that feed, will also ring in as bulk. I hope that makes sense. But even if you do it online or as like in-store pickup, but through their online service, it won't run it like this. It'll still run like the 20 bags of our horse feed as bulk, but then when I do cow feed and the rest of the feed, it doesn't give me the 5% bulk discount. So I go in store, and when you go in store, it all rings up as bulk discount once you hit that 20 bag threshold. So that's how I'll get a bulk on all of the feed in one setting. And then also on this receipt, so this is your second tip that I'm going to give you guys, because we started heavily using Tractor Supply for all of our feed when they came out with like a rewards program, because you guys know throughout my whole channel we've always loved going to Tractor Supply. We've never really had a Tractor Supply in my town up until like the last like maybe 4 to 5 years, so they're kind of new for us. But just recently, and maybe in the past like 7 months or so, they started a rewards program where you would get points back, which would then in turn into dollars that you can spend at Tractor Supply. So we run literally everything through Tractor Supply, all of Mike's business stuff as well. So we rack up a bunch of rewards. So basically I collect them until we hit their threshold of $100, and then that's when I do these big orders. So it'll take me a couple months to get that much, and then I'll use the $100 towards it. So for that order today, I got the 5% discount of bulk of everything, and also took $100 off with our rewards. So we'll go through all of these prices, but then after this, I'm going to tell you guys the original prices when we don't have this bulk price on, because like I said, I only get this bulk price every 3 months, because the rest throughout the month I'm buying the other feed without a bulk price. So it's going to be really interesting what I actually paid for each feed when you guys hear what they actually go for when I tell you guys the prices in just a couple minutes. So for the goats, bag today is $17.51. For the pigs, each bag was $16.86. You guys really need to wait a little bit further in this video so that you guys can compare the pricing of how much this stuff really goes for. And then our chicken feed, we got 1 bag of that, which was $13.90. And we got 10 bags of the sweet feed for the cows at $10.43. And then we, last but not least, got 20 bags of the Purina Equine Senior for the horses at $20.05. So we bought 36 bags of feed today. That's 1,800 pounds of feed that we bought for all of my animals. We ended up buying 36 bags of feed for all of my pets, which equals 1,800 pounds in today's feed run, which cost us a total of $605.10. But before that, it was over $700. So we did a really good savings today. We saved probably close to $150, $160. So that was really awesome. So this is what I meant by we have acclimated to the higher prices of feed and figured out ways that can help us save money on our feed bill. But now that you guys know how much we spent on today's feed run, let's go ahead and get right into the nitty-gritty of how these prices have changed over the last, 3 to 4 years now, and what the prices are today and what our monthly feed bill is. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. Well, while you guys watch that, we will be unloading 36 bags of feed. So enjoy that.
Now that we're back from the feed store, we need to talk numbers because things have changed. So take your guesses on what you guys think our monthly feed bill is. So go ahead and put that in the comments down below what you guys think our monthly feed bill is. There's probably some type of guesstimate on the screen or in the thumbnail, so that's rounded up. So just go ahead and what you guys would think that our monthly bills are. So back in June 2019, I said that our bills were $518. And then the next year, exactly a year later, I did it in June 2022, I said that they equated to about $710. So in a year's time, we basically went up $200. Now we're gonna see a trend here. So then April 2022, almost a year later, we increased to $963. Again, another year where we added another $200, but I will assume that each $200 here is maybe a slight price increase, but mostly it's an animal increase. So that's where I'm thinking that those $200 jumps came from, was because of that, and we'll dig a little bit deeper into that to kind of prove that. And now January 2022, you're gonna need to go ahead and wait to the end of the video because I need to break down some things of how these prices have increased now that you guys have seen us get all of our fees that we needed to get. And we need to go through how these prices have changed and why this number is so drastically high compared to the last 3 years. So let's go ahead and dive right into that part now. Starting with the sweet feed. The sweet feed is for my 3 cows. So we noticed that the price on sweet feed had started to increase before the price on any of our other feed. So that was pretty tough on us because sweet feed is the most feed that we go through because our cows eat so much. But we have switched that a little bit just to acclimate with the price change. So in June 2019, it was a lovely $8.99. I love that it was so inexpensive because we did use so much. Now the next year in June 2020, it raised about 50 cents to $9.49, as you guys can see in this video that I filmed back then. And then April 2021, it was $10.99. That was a whole $1.50 increase. So now at that point, we're about a year into the pandemic. And then July 2021, you're gonna hear me reference that because that's when we really started to realize that prices were definitely increasing across the board. So I went back around July 2021 and the feed was $12.79. So today in 2022, it is a whopping $12.99. It has literally increased $4 in the last 3 years. So what we've done though now is we've cut back on our feed so it does last us a lot longer. And we do more of a hay diet for them, and especially in this house they do have a lot more grass to munch on throughout the year, whereas in our old house they did share a pasture, so we were okay with giving them more grain intake. But now with this house they have more pasture, more hay that we're giving them, and we've cut down on the actual grain. So now moving on to the chicken feed. This one has really taken a hike as well. So back in June 2019, it was $13.99, and then it had no change the next year, as you guys can see in this video that I filmed June 2020. It was still $13.99, and then April 2021, like I said, when we got up to that July is when things started to skyrocket. So you'll see the difference between just April 2021 when I filmed that last video at $14.49 that I purchased in July 2021. So just 3 months later, it increased $2.50 up to $16.99. So that was July 2021. So now here we are, technically January, February when you guys see this, at $17.29. So that's increased about $3.30, not as much as the cow feed, but still that's a pretty steep transition there. Also though, aren't going through as much chicken feed because we have nearly as many chickens. We have about 13 chickens, so this hasn't terribly hurt us because we aren't feeding 30 to 40 birds like we used to. We used to go through about a bag of feed a day almost when we had that many birds. So at $13.99 it wasn't as bad, but I can't imagine at $17 going through a bag of chicken feed a day. Our last bag that we bought was January 12th. We bought one bag, and now when I'm filming this, it's January 31st, and like you guys saw, there's about a quarter of the bag left. So that lasted us about 2.5 weeks on 3/4 of a bag. So I would give it that it might last us 3 to 4 weeks, just one bag. So that's not terrible for us, but before that used to be one of our top feeds that we used to have to buy because we had so many chickens. Now moving on to the pigs, like I said, we have increased 3 pigs since I've done this last video, and over time we did increase from just Penelope to Penelope and Stewie to then Mr. Pig, and now our 3 little pigs that we have as well. So we have 6 pigs. And also I can only reference back to April 2021 because we fed a completely different feed. So I don't have the prices for 2019 and 2020 of this feed, so I'm gonna go off of 2021 April, but still this one went high because I think pig feed's already kind of expensive. April 2021, it was $18.79. That's when I did my last year's video. And then, like I said, July came around, and then it increased a little bit less than $1, but to $19.49 in those couple months. And guys, now, not even a year later, the same bag of feed that I buy for my pigs is $20.99. Like, that's pretty crazy when you have 6 pigs, and we go through about 3 scoops a day for our pigs. So that's a lot. So I'm interested to see at the end of the video how much our pigs cost us. So we need to figure that out because now that we have 6 pigs, our pigs are really costing us a lot lately. Now we're gonna move on to the dog food. So I can't go back to 2019 because we were feeding a different feed, but in 2020, we were feeding the same feed that we feed now, which is our Victor. So back in June 2020, it was $42.99. And then the next year, April 2021, it was $42.99 again, so no change. And then, like I said, we have really been noticing a trend in July of 2021 that prices increased because as you guys saw, June 2020, it was $42.99. April 2021, it was $42.99, same price. But then July hits 3 months later, it was $44.99, so it went up $2. And then now, so back July 2021, it was $44.99. Today, it's $51.99 a bag. So since June 2020, it's gone up $9. And I will say, dog food is so expensive. A 50-pound bag of dog food, like I said, is $52. A 50-pound bag of horse feed is like $20 to $25, up to, $30. But the median number for horse feed is probably around $20 to $25. So it's crazy how much dog food really costs because there is some really high expensive ingredients even in horse feed, but I will say that dog food mostly has meat in it and stuff like that, so that's probably why the hefty price increase, whereas horse food is mostly just, vegetables, grains, those type of things. Anyways though, since those last videos, we did increase 1 dog, so we now have 4 dogs because we had Bama, so that's definitely going to make this increase because of purely that, plus of the $9 increase. And then the cat food. So I actually buy my cat food at various places, so I try to just be consistent with where we got it at Tractor Supply. And I don't have 2019 and I don't have 2020 because we were feeding them like a Meow Mix or something like that. But we have switched them, as you guys saw, to Purina Cat Chow. And back in April 2021, it was $14.90 for a 15-pound bag, where now it's $15.99. So it's gone up $1, not terrible, but we have increased by 3 cats. So we'll see how that goes. And I will say maybe we've increased by 3 but went down by 1 because Domino really never eats here. I should probably send my neighbor some food at this point because he's never here. And then almost finishing here down the line is the goat feed back in October 2021 because we haven't had them for that long. But you guys, I'm floored by this one. So like I said, thankfully they don't go through a lot of feed because October 2021 we got the bag of feed, and we did have a little bit of leftover feed from their previous owner, but we just used that to kind of transfer them over to their new feed. So we bought that bag in October 2021 at $21.79. All right, that's pretty high anyways for goat feed, but they hardly eat it, so no big deal. Now though, today, and that was just a couple months away, that was like 4 months away, it's $25.99. It's went up a little over $4. So that's pretty crazy in such a short time right there. And now last but not least, I know you guys are wanting to know this because we technically have 6 equines, 5 horses, 1 donkey. And since I've last done this video, we increased by a horse. I believe in the last video when I did this, we did have Dinky, but not for long, but we did have her by then. So now, horse feed. Again, same thing, kind of like the pig feed. I can only reference back in April 2021 because we were not feeding Purina back then. We were feeding Seminole Senior and other things like that, which was a different feed, which was a lot cheaper because he's such a hard keeper. But we've just decided it's just so much easier the way that we do it to get all of the horses, all the equines on the same exact feed. So April 2021, when I last did this video, as you guys can see, the feed was $23.99. Now today, it's $25.49. So it has increased about $2, which honestly, if we look at the list that we just went through, not a huge deal. But since I do have a lot of horses, that kind of does affect that. But what we've done now, instead of buying like 10 bags at a time or a couple bags at a time, we realized that we were just going to the feed store way too often anyways, and we were always gonna need to buy the feed. So we took advantage of Tractor Supply's 5% discount when you buy bulk. So their bulk is 20 bags or more. So that's why we buy a pallet of feed now, because even a little bit helps when you're feeding 6 equines the same feed. Back in July of 2021, we bought 20 bags of our horse feed on a pallet, and then we bought another one on October 21st. We bought another 20 bags. So that's a total of 40 bags, let's just say from July 21st, and we have 10 bags left. So since July 21st, we've used 30 bags. So I don't think that that's terrible. That's lasted a really long time for 6 equines. We do though, do a bulk of our horses' diet in hay, which is why we don't have a crazy amount of feed that we go through. All my horses get about a half scoop to 3/4 of a scoop of feed twice a day. Dinky gets about a quarter of feed, and Blaze gets probably a little bit less than a half a scoop twice a day. So most of it is hay. So this is gonna be a total of just grain. And keep in mind, the other totals were hay and grain combined. We are on a nicer quality hay nowadays. We are on purely alfalfa, whereas before we've done O&A or we've done TNA, but that's how we have decreased our grain and we've upped our hay. So that's just kind of how we've done it and what works best for our horses. So now let's start getting into numbers. Now that I've showed you guys the difference in pricing over the last 3 years, we all know that it has increased. So I'm gonna tell you how much each of our animals cost us a month. We'll even break it down by day just for the fun of it. Now, this does not include any forage, so this does not include hay for the goats, hay for the cows, and hay for the horses, because we're not doing that. We're just doing like feed as strictly as grain. So our sweet feed, we go through a bag of sweet feed about every 5 days. We feed our cows 10 pounds a day. Now we used to feed them 20 pounds, but we've weaned them off and increased their forage like I was saying. So it's about $78 now to feed our cows a month. Now moving on to the chicken feed, we have totally decreased our need for the feed because my chickens are 100% free range, where in the past they've been mostly just in a run where their sole source of food was through their grain. So they just like their feed as almost like a treat, but they graze through the whole yard all day long. So we only go through about 1 50-pound bag of feed a month. So that's about $17 a month for our chickens. Now for the pigs, now that we have 6 pigs, which is a lot, we go through about 2.5 bags a month of feed at a whopping $83 a month. Now remember that number, because the next one that we're gonna talk about is the horse feed, and we're gonna see how relative 6 pigs to 6 equines on horse feed versus pig feed is. We go through about 4.5 bags of horse feed a month. So that puts us at $112 a month, which is kind of funny because it's really not too far behind 6 pigs a month at $83. Now for the dogs, we go through a little over a bag a month. So that puts us at $69 a month for our dogs. Now the cats, We do have a lot, but obviously there are outside cats and they're obviously eating at other people's houses as well. So we go through about 2 bags a month, so it's about $30 a month for our cats. And then the goats, I know this seems so crazy, but this is just how the math went, because technically we haven't bought them another bag of feed in literally 102 days. And we have about a quarter of feed left. I did say though, we did have some of the previous owners' feed, but it wasn't a substantial amount. We were feeding the goats a lot more, but now that they're out all day, when they come in, they're hardly even hungry. Our goats have gained so much weight since when we first got them. So it's only been $6 a month for the goats, but that doesn't include hay. We do feed them a lot of hay, just because that's the type of nutrients that I want them to have, is through hay. So that is broken down individually, animal by month. Now let's move into all of them collectively through the month. So just grain for all the animals on my farm is $395. You guys, that's just grain, that's not talking hay. Back in 2019, my hay and grain was $518. I will throw just a round number so you guys can relate this to my actual feed bill. We spend about $1,200 in hay a month for all the animals on the farm. It's definitely been proven that even when we've lowered our amount of feed in different ways, the prices have gone up on other feed. So that's just where we're at. Again, I will preface, horses are very expensive, and we have 6 equines that all eat the same thing. So that is why our feed bill is so hefty. But now, for hay and grain, rounded up, is about $53 a day. And last year when I did this, it was $32 a day to have all the animals that I had last year. So pretty crazy. This is where we're at. If you guessed correctly or close in the comments down below, good job. If you guys liked today's video, make sure you go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. Make sure you turn on those post notifications so you don't miss any of these videos. And of course, have a chance for my post notification shout out. Today's shout out goes to, all right, you guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.